Today, I'm going to be sharing with you two gratitude practices that I've been using. It has completely changed my life. And not only my general level of happiness, but actually the abundance and the things that have been coming to my life. You ever go through your life and just when you're in that flow state and good things are just coming to you, you feel like you're in the groove. You know what I mean? You're hitting all your milestones and things generally feel sort of effortless. Well, many of the world's most successful people, whether they are billionaires or otherwise, have had these secrets. Nikola Tesla himself used some of these secrets to actually build up this sense of gratitude, which kind of resonated with a certain type of energy. And so today we're going to get into two practices that I've been doing that if you started implementing today, and let's say you did for at least the next 21 days or longer, you will greatly benefit from it. I've been practicing gratitude subconsciously for a very long time, but it wasn't up until recently where I made these things more conscious and actually didn't made a conscious effort to appreciate and show gratitude for specific things in my life that this shift happened, and I feel so much more happier, lighter. Things just seem more effortless now. Now, where this information came from is actually from a mentor that I had many years ago, Phil Town, who's written many successful books. He's a very successful investor. And one of the keys to his success that he shared with me a very long time ago, which I didn't integrate up until recently, guilty, but he shared with me this idea of gratitude. He went in his early days and met with a Japanese billionaire and asked him, "What makes you successful? If you had one key secret to success, what would that be?" And the guy told him, I can't remember the term. I think he said it was Maru, but it could be something different. But basically, the term stands for gratitude. And he said he would practice this gratitude 1,000 times a day, which is, it's crazy to think about 1,000 times a day. How could someone be grateful for 1,000 things every day? And he asked him this, and the guy said, I'm grateful for the ground I'm standing on. I'm grateful that the roads that my car is driving on are paved, down to the most minute details and showing appreciation for everyday life. And that's how he became more immersed in his own life. And, that abundance came to him over time. So he's been practicing this Phil Town for over his whole career. He's been sharing it with his students, and I've been now more consciously integrating that into my own life, and I have seen genuinely tangible results from this. So, and I have my own version of it. So there's two practices we're gonna do here. The first one is everybody says they are grateful, and we all have the intention of, yes, I want to be grateful, I want to be more grateful for things in my life. But the problem is the way our brains work, we are geared as animals to actually notice negative things way more often than we see positive things. And this is a protective mechanism, right? I mean, back in the caveman days, if you only saw the negative things, you were probably more likely to survive when that lion was rustling in the bushes and you just made a run for it, rather than being the optimistic caveman who most likely got eaten. I mean, this isn't the case anymore in everyday life. Now we have debt and bills and all sorts of other things that can cause fear and anxiety. And so it's really hard to focus on the positive. So by expressing this gratitude, we can pull ourselves into the moment. And one way I've been conscious of this is using a little tool. Let me get my tool here. Using a little tool called a gratitude tracker. Now, this is a very special tool. It's very easy to find, and I'll show you. I'll put a link down in the description below. You can find it on Amazon, but it won't be called a gratitude counter. When you look on Amazon, it'll just be called I believe they just call it's a counter, essentially, a metal counter. I'll leave the link in the description below. But essentially, what this allows me to do is I carry this around with me wherever I go. And I mean, I recommend if you're always on the move, keep one in your car, keep one at home. Set it to 0 every day. And then make a target for yourself of X amount of things you want to be grateful for that day. And so for me right now, I've been trying to get to 15. Imagine the Japanese billionaire doing this 1,000 times a day, subconsciously or consciously. And I'm trying to get to 15. And I'll tell you, because of that protective mechanism where we notice more of the negative things every day in our lives, this helps us become more conscious of how grateful we actually are rather than having the feeling of gratefulness, which is much different. It's not the same as consciously being grateful. And so, this is the first tool I would recommend. Very cheap. Like, I think I paid $10 for this. And it has deeply improved my level of gratitude as a practice. Now, the second one here comes from Nikola Tesla, incredibly smart man who was responsible for things like wireless electronic technology, transferring electricity wirelessly through things like the Wardenclyffe Tower. Tesla was obsessed with numbers. One of his things that he said quite a few times when he was alive was the numbers 3, 6, and 9 hold the keys to the universe. Now, this is a very sort of vague statement, shrouded in mystery, but many people think that these numbers 3, 6, and 9 represent this phenomenon called vortex mathematics, which is a sort of subset of math that tries to explain the nature of life and the math of life, down to the cellular level where cells are dividing. This vortex math explains that. And there's a principle that we'll talk about in another video called as above, so below. It's a hermetic principle, kind of saying that at the molecular level, at a very tiny, tiny level, the same laws apply to the laws of the universe and the larger things that happen in the universe. So the laws are all the same. So I tried to integrate this into a gratitude practice. In the first part of this video, we talked about a gratitude counter that'll keep you accountable. Now, to specify what you want to be grateful for, because you can be grateful for a lot of things and it'll build a general amount of happiness within you. But if you really want to attract abundance towards specific things in your life, it is a really good idea to get specific on what you're grateful for. So the universe, the source, God, whatever you believe in can mirror that back to you. And so I set three goals for myself. We're going to follow the numbers of 3, 6, and 9. I believe one was the abundance of time to create content on my YouTube channel. The second one was the abundance of love from the people and animals. I have a cute German Shepherd. He's a puppy. He acts like a drunk baby sometimes, but I love him. And I try to express gratitude for things like my girlfriend and my family in my life and just having that love from them available to me. The third thing I'm grateful for is just the abundance of wealth that I have in my life. Now, I may not be a billionaire just yet, and many of you may not just be a billionaire or a millionaire just yet, but wealth comes in many different forms. And just being grateful for the wealth that you have, meaning could be the items that you have in your life, could be the opportunities to even earn wealth in your life. Being grateful for these things will only attract more of these things to your life. Aside from holding the three goals, you're going to follow the path of 3, 6, and 9. So every time you look at your three gratitude goals, express gratitude for at least 9 seconds, whether you're repeating each item or you're just really just feeling the love and the energy behind each goal that you have. And then you're going to do this 6 times a day. I mean, you see where the 3, 6, and 9 is coming in, right? And then do this for at least 21 days. I mean, research has shown that doing a habit every day for at least 3 weeks can have a substantial impact, a staying, lasting impact on the habit itself. And definitely let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Did this practice actually make a difference for you? Did it keep you accountable? And did you feel more grateful going through life? I mean, I have no doubts that you watching this video are grateful for things in your life. But I believe integrating some of these practices into your life will make you consciously more grateful. And hopefully, I wish it brings you more abundance in your life. Peace.